Well, I'm gonna shoot a very quick video so my camera doesn't get destroyed because as you can see around me, it's pouring rain as predicted. Only fish I seen this morning were some big carp. That was it. Big carp rolling in the top water. Some really big ones, 20-pound carp, but no bass, no pike. It's really cold. I think the rain is, bringing the temperature down a lot. But I had a first successful test of the boat, even though the weather's miserable. It's nice to be out, at least. You gotta go when you gotta go, right? Hail, rain, or storm. The only thing, I don't mind fishing in the rain. The only thing I won't fish in is lightning. That's pretty dangerous. Especially when you're standing on a giant lightning conductor. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up so my camera doesn't get wet. Okay, after yesterday's washout, you can see now I have my boat parked out in the sun. It's not gonna be sunny all day, but it's gonna be sunny this morning, then more storms, rain, and clouds this afternoon. But I wanted to say it's important to make sure you dry your gear out properly, especially if you have a boat like this. There's carpet on it. Now the carpet, of course, is waterproof. All the decking boards are waterproof, but like I keep my boat stored inside, and it doesn't stay out in the sunlight. You store your boat inside. You want to make sure that you dry it out, otherwise it will mildew. Especially like in your rod lockers and in the equipment boxes like this that are, underneath the floor. All it needs is a little bit of moisture, and then the moisture gets trapped in there, and then the area is heated. It doesn't evaporate immediately. It gets stuck in the boxes, and it gets stuck in the rod lockers, and it stays in there. And if you leave your gear in there, it will mildew. Next time you take it out, it's like covered in mildew and mold. So yeah, dry your gear out real well. I'm gonna leave it sit out in the sun for a couple hours. That'll dry it any quicker way than I can. When I stored it yesterday after I brought it home, I mean, of course it was soaking. I dried it out as much as I could, dried the seats off, sopped the carpet off a little bit with a big beach towel, just dried it off, and then stored it inside. And then first thing this morning, sun came out, said, okay, that's it, out it goes, and we'll let it dry out. You gotta look after your equipment. It's too freaking expensive not to, right? I'm gonna give you a quick look around my boat then and see how I have it set up. Okay, first off, sitting in the captain's chair. Dash, of course, power outlet, ignition. The equipment I use here on the side. This is my main fish finder right here. It's a Humminbird 787. Has side scan, has down scan. Doesn't have the 3D down image, and that's probably my next big upgrade. I'm gonna get the 3D sonar. I'd like to get that, although this unit works really well. It's got GPS, sonar, all that stuff. I can get different images on it. I can have down image only. I can have down image, side image. I can have side image only. There's a bunch of different settings that it'll go through for it. But I have a backup unit here that came with the boat. It's a Lowrance X50, just a cheap fish finder sonar. I don't usually use the fish finder for finding fish. It's usually just for mapping and for depth, to make to see what sort of structure I'm fishing over. If you find good structure, you're going to find the fish anyway. It doesn't hurt that it's going to mark the fish too, but to help, especially some of the lakes I fish are brutal tough to catch fish, and they're definitely a big asset. The fish finders are a big asset. This unit here is a Lowrance H2O. It's an independent GPS. You can see here I have it mounted on a ram. This one I have mounted on a ram as well. This is just in case my other unit goes down. If I'm out on a big water, I know how to get back to the boat launch, especially fishing at night. You're fishing in total darkness, and you could be miles out on water. You have to remember, some of the lakes where I live, pretty close to the Great Lakes. If you're fishing on Erie, you may as well be out in the ocean. That's how big it is. Some of those lakes are enormous. I don't necessarily need it for the smaller lakes that I fish, of course, but it's also very handy for marking spots where you catch fish. so you can go back to those spots at a later date. Now the hummingbird does that too, but this also has a slot in it for a lake map cord, so I can get super detailed bottom contour lines and stuff like that for some of the lakes. It gives me the pool mark, gives me where known structure is. It gives you like on the one lake that I fish is a flood impoundment from the Army Corps of Engineers, so it marks like all foundations, all roads that run under the water, railway beds that might have been under the water. Some of those are real good areas to catch fish. Also, some of them had houses where they flooded a valley or something where there used to be old houses, and they would bulldoze the houses flat, and then the old stone foundation would still be there. Those are good spots to catch fish as well. And sometimes that lake, those map information will give you info. Okay, if I turn around this way, you can see one of my life jackets drying out. This is my driver's side, we'll say, rod locker. You can see my oar and stuff is in here. I got some of my daughter's fishing rods in here and my sunfish rods, and I keep a lot of equipment in the back of it there. The key for the boat, mounts for my cameras, glasses, stuff like that I'll keep in there too. You can see here is my drying out as well, the remote for my co-pilot for my trolling motor. Let's go to the front of the boat. Okay, it's my live well. It's one side of my live well. It's pretty big. It's got a divider in it as well if I need that. This side of the live well has a bait container in it, so if I'm fishing with live bait, I can use that. This is real nice. It's got all the pumps, recirc pumps. It's got fill pumps. It's got evac pumps. It pumps out the water out on the sides. If you're in a tournament and you have the boat out, you can actually pump the water out of it. It's pretty nice. First box up here, I got a tackle storage unit here. The cord here is from my trolling motor battery. Trolling motor batteries under here. Got equipment, soft plastics. My light and stuff is in there. This is for tackle storage. You got a bow mounted seat. This here is more tackle storage on this side. This is my soft plastics that I have in here, and then I have the foot pedal for my trolling motor in there. And then I have my main tackle storage in the front. These are going to be the lures that I'm going to use most often, depending on what I'm doing, the biggest trip. And if I'm fishing for bass, I'll have bass lures. If I'm fishing for pike, I'll have pike lures. That way I have quick access to them, I can get them. This is my jig box. Jerk bait box. It'll hold 3 boxes. I only have 2 in there right now. Then right at the front you see my trolling motor. It's got a cup holder up there. Also the port for the light. Then if I swing back this way, you can see on this side, got my rod holder here for trawling. And then my rod locker. If I open this, all my rods are in the side there. Not all of them, but most of them. Mostly I store baitcaster rods in this because the baitcaster reels fit in there real easy. Spinning reels, they has 2 anchors here on the top where I can, strap rods to the deck. I'll try and strap those to the deck. That way the handle's not tangling up in line and stuff like that. As you can see, it has 4 seats. Nice swivel and turn. I can take them out. I can put one up on the bow. I can put one on the stern. I can do whatever I want. I'll come this way a little bit. See my net here. For when you catch something big. Then back here is my battery. That's my cranking battery for my engine. There, get better. Cranking battery for my engine. The engine, obviously, if I switch to this side, making you dizzy now. There's another storage box here. I have paper towels, insect repellents, sun buffs, hat, Sasquatch sticks, an absolute must. You see I have all my stuff out here drying them. My glasses and stuff. I also have another power port there for my motor. You see on the side rail here, what I did was I got a rod holder and I screwed it to the side of my console. So I have all my unhooking tools in it. Got a measuring board in it. I got the boga grip on it for fish that have teeth. You got the slide unhookers, forceps, pliers, things like that. Real handy to get at. You can see under the console here I have a throwable life jacket, and then I have buoys if I need to tie up to another boat, or if I'm tying up to a dock if it's real windy. I don't want the dock beating against the side of my boat. Fire extinguisher, an absolute necessity. Have to have that. That's all USCG rules. Some of the rules differ from state to state. Here I need an audible device. I have a horn on the boat that works, and then I have a whistle that's really loud, like a hiking whistle. Some lakes, like some of the Great Lakes, you have to have shootable flare. Sometimes you can get away with handheld flare. I know some of the lakes I fished in New York, you have to have flags, distress flags and stuff like that. You have to be able to display. And if you're pulled over and checked, you have to have that. And if you don't, you can get fined for that or cited for that. So check your local regulations to see what you're supposed to have on the boat. Check your regulations. You see here, this is the front deck. This is where I spend most of my fishing time. It's nice to add the carpet because it's quiet. The main floor on the boat is not carpet. I have to switch hands here. It's almost like a foam. It's like a hard foam finish. It's kind of difficult to explain. It's not carpet though. It's like it's soft, but it's like impact absorbent. But it's not coarse. If you put the fish down on this, it won't damage them like the carpet. You don't want to put fish on the carpet. But if you rest a large fish on the floor here, he's fine. It's almost like a rubber mat. It's not abrasive like the carpet, which is not good for the fish. Some of these older model boats, they used to have a storage compartment right in the middle of the floor, right over the gas tank. And that was nice for putting, life jackets and stuff in there, extra life jackets or stuff, oars and stuff like that if you needed those. But they don't have that on this particular model. They changed it the year I bought this boat. That was the year previous to that. And they didn't bring it back. People must have complained about it, or they must have changed it for a reason. I'm sure that they didn't have it, but I like the way the boat is laid out. This boat is real stable. It's 16'5". It's a Bass tracker, Bass Pro Shop tracker, 16 Pro 16V, and I'm super pleased with it. I like it a lot. I was originally going to buy a bass type boat, like a real low profile boat, and I didn't because at the time I bought it, my kids were both really young, and bass boats, if you know, it's all like a flat fishing deck. There's no like safety railing or anything on it, so if they'd walk, you're pretty much walking around on a flat deck all the time, and for small children that's not really good. But this boat is really good in big waves and on big lakes. That's what it's designed for. It's very stable to fish from. Even in rough water, it's pretty stable. It's got a big gas tank on it. It's 25-gallon tank. So if I'm not like running wide open throttle, it will cruise a long distances. I could probably get 300 miles on one tank. It's a pretty fuel efficient. It's an ultra low emission Mercury 60 horse 4-stroke. It's a really great motor. I can't say enough about that engine. I maintain it and everything. I make sure everything is good on it. You'll see that in some of my other videos, but I have no complaints about that engine. I had not one time has it ever failed to start. It's never ran rough. I've never had any problems with it, so knock on wood. Don't want to hex myself. Very reliable, very quiet in the water. I mean, you can have that thing running and you know it's on. So I'm super pleased with that. And that's about it. A tour of the boat. Like I said, the fishing lures and stuff I keep up in the front here, those are the ones I use all the time, and then I'll just switch them out. Hope it's drying out now. The sun does a good job on that. I can't dry it out any quicker than the sun can, trust me. Should be ready to go for next time. See, in between cleaning the boat, you gotta be barbecuing the meat too. Yeah. Look at that array. Alright, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Hopefully we'll get some fishing in without interruption by Mother Nature soon. All in all, fish or no fish, it's still fun to get out. But see you next time. I have a mutinous dog on the boat. What are you doing on the boat? Freaking Captain Ahab. What a unit.